Cheryl, I guess you're trying to get things together here.
Yes, we've been out here. This is our 2 week anniversary, and we are trying to be as organized as we can and keep things running smoothly and make sure everybody stays safe.
And by we mean who?
Volunteers, strangers, and volunteers that just came together and wanted to be in solidarity with Occupy Wall Street.
What is the ultimate goal then?
The ultimate goal is to start to solve some of the problems that plague our lives, to really address the corporate greed and its influence on our political processes and all the problems that come from that.
We've been watching them for more than a month, but the Occupy Wall Street movement shows no sign of slowing its momentum. Thanks to a sluggish economy and an electorate that seems to favor big business over people, angry Americans are saying no more to business as usual.
Well, I'm one of the 99% who is sick and tired of the corporate class's takeover of our political and economic system. It has happened numbers of times throughout our history. Money equals free speech. They have 37,000 lobbyists in Washington, revolving door, so that they write the laws, the super wealthy write the laws, they skew it all for them, and we need to take back our government like we have 3 other times. And what we have to do, most of all, is abolish corporate personhood. The myth of corporate personhood is what has given the ruling class so much power. Corporations are not people. They are not entitled to all the rights that people have. When they say they have the right to free speech, that money equals free speech, that is not right, because we don't have money. We have a voice. This country was founded for the people, we the people, not we the rich, not we the corporations. So I'm here today to add my voice because I'm one of the 99, and I want us to have corporate personhood abolished, and I want clean money elections. We want elections that are not tainted by corporate money, big money in any way.
On a recent Saturday afternoon, thousands of participants meet at Pershing Square in preparation for a march that will take them past many of the corporate banks as they make their way to City Hall. Sir, you were shaking your finger at this big building. Why is that?
I think these corporate banks should be ashamed of themselves in the way they've been treating the population and handling the economy by pillaging and taking advantage of their economic power.
Is that why you're in this following today?
It's one of the reasons. There are actually lots of reasons. There are lots of really important issues related to the war, related to social justice, economic justice. This is just a part of a large problem.
I guess we are here in the financial district, and that's why you shook your finger at this big, tall building here.
They should be ashamed of themselves. This represents, if it's not the only example, I'm sure there are dozens, but this represents part of the problem. Big banking that doesn't really help the community that it serves. It just figures out a way to go rape and pillage through the community and make more profits.
They say we don't know why we're here. Yes, we do. We want these criminals in prison. Why are these criminals not in prison, people? Why?
One of the unanswered questions on the minds of many of the marchers is, why were so many of our jobs sent abroad? And why were we not more vocal about it when it started to happen so many years ago? There are a lot of people marching behind you, but you're here for a particular message. What is that?
I've been watching manufacturing jobs be sent overseas for 30 years. I've been part of the problem. I work for Timberland, and we shut North Carolina and Tennessee factories because the consumer could save $2, but they didn't give us a choice, $168 or $170, so we shut the factory down. Worked for Walmart in the 80s. Remember Buy American against Kmart? It worked. They took over Kmart, but then the owner, Sam Walton, died. His kids don't care so much. Buy it anywhere, sell it. Cheaper's not better. I moved to China because I love manufacturing. I helped a medical equipment company list on the New York Stock Exchange, Mindray, MR, look it up. Then they bought another American company, Datascope, look it up. Chinese are doing what they need to do for their country. It's a system. They have a political system, economic system, banking system. They own the transportation, the communications. They own all of the industries that are key and vital. They control the price. If Americans don't get together, we've lost this war. Warren Buffett said it best, in the class war we've lost. But 30 years is a long time to wait. It's not too late. We are here today saying we want jobs here in America. If you're willing to pay $2 more, 170 instead of 168, think about where you buy your purchases. So,
what do you think?
Messages, again,
The message is
we the
99%.
people. Corporations are not people, okay? Corporations don't get to vote. So this whole get money out of politics, there's a lot of organizations that are coalescing around the idea that the people own this country. The people should get a voice in this country.
The march culminates at Los Angeles City Hall, site of the current Occupy LA, which has been camping on the lawn for more than a month to mobilize citizens and bring attention to their concerns.
Yes, we have a core group of people who come out every day, spend hours at our welcome tent, and answer as many questions as they can and distribute as much literature as they can.
Yeah, I do see signs that like you need volunteers for this and that. What type of volunteers do you need?
Our medical tent needs volunteers who are trained and specialize in that. Our food tent needs people with food safe handling instructions or certificates. We need drivers to drive things around. We need just basic human resources to get things done and have people take on responsibilities for every little area.
How do volunteers get in touch with you?
Come to the welcome tent and we try to hook them up with committees and such.
How long have you been here?
2 weeks. We started, this is our 2-week anniversary, and we started planning just 3 weeks, just 1 week earlier than that, just over a week earlier than that.
So you kind of recognized a need for some sort of central place to go, I imagine.
Yes, definitely. Noticed it even before we started occupying. At our General Assemblies, we were meeting at Pershing Square, and new people would come and they'd have no idea what was going on. And so I suggested a welcome committee. Other people took on the responsibility, but then when we started to occupy, those other people had responsibilities in other areas, and so I got the welcome tent.
Though civil disobedience is the main objective, protesters can and do like to lighten up every now and then. A quick tour of the encampment reveals a scattered but well-behaved crowd with no visible trash or rowdy behavior. Representatives of Occupy LA stress that they are not at war with City Hall, nor the grass that surrounds it, but with the corporate fat cats of Wall Street.
I think there are some filthy rich people in government, like maybe Mayor Bloomberg in New York, but for the vast majority, I think people who work for this city of Los Angeles are part of the 99%. And we decided before we started to occupy, just because we picked City Hall in Los Angeles, we weren't protesting against any city workers. We just picked this because it's the political hub of our city, and the financial district is a few blocks away. We have the County Board of Supervisors just a few blocks away. We have the federal courthouse right across the street. We have the federal building right across the street. Barbara Boxer's office is right here. So we figured it was a good place to reach out, and then we have the banks that we can go to easily.
Are you enjoying this?
I am, I really am. I don't know if you know what we did this week in City Hall, but we were able to influence 3 pieces of legislation, and for me that's very exciting, to leverage our political power as concerned citizens through the system that we already have and try to correct some of the wrongs that have occurred.
While Americans search for answers, participants in the occupation continue to spread their message with banners and T-shirts, signs that indicate that this is a movement that will keep these young voices occupied for some time.
Well, I began to see things change in the late 90s. You remember when the kids went up to Seattle and the World Trade Organization, the WTO, was having that huge meeting. The kids were out in the street. And they were beginning this whole wave of the corporatization of America, NAFTA, what it's doing to our world, what it's done to our economy, all of those things. And so I see this movement is growing. And if it doesn't grow, and if we cannot affect change with our political system, we're all done for, because they have plundered our resources, they have fouled our ocean, fouled our air, they have stolen our resources, they have plundered our money, they have shipped our jobs overseas, and we are now a country of have-nots and have-yachts. And so we have got to restore the balance, just like FDR did. He restrained capitalism. He did not destroy capitalism. He said, no, you can't, you have to be regulated. You have to have taxes to pay your fair share. But they don't want to do that. They don't want to pay taxes. So if we do not have an impact now, we will be returning to a time of serfdom. And that's how I see the world. A world that is collapsing environmentally, an economy that's collapsing, and millions of people without livelihood.
What will happen, do you think, as a result of this type of rally around the world?
I call it the Great Awakening. Remember Tora, 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 where he said, I think all we've done is awaken a sleeping giant? We're awakened. We're not going back to sleep. America, wake up. It's your country. You want a job? Go ask for it. Demand it. You get a vote. You may not have $10 million to contribute, but if 300 million people voted, do you think the 400 have a chance? That top 400% that own everything? They're terrified. They're terrified because we are regular people, old, young, black, white, educated, not, immigrants, non-immigrants, native born. We want the country to work. We're tired of the system working for the corporations, right? We spent $2 billion a year for a war we didn't need. What could we have done with schools and so on?
Well, I'm sure you're glad you're here 30 years later to be able to voice your opinion.
Thank you so much for having me on, and I hope you have a lot of more people say the same thing, because we're ready. We're ready for a change. It's our country. Let's take it back. Thank you.